Man, when I get in my zone, I feel like I can't be stopped. I just want to make a play. That's the biggest thing that comes to my head is trying to make a play for my teammates. And when I duck the ball, it get the crowd going, and get my teammates going, and get our momentum going, which is great. I really couldn't control what was going on in my roar, but I definitely could have controlled the game of basketball, and that's the game I love right now. When I grew up, people didn't have that much, and people didn't have that much. They do crazy things. A lot of the violence, shooting, murders, fighting, and my mom was a single mom raising 6 kids, and a lot of nieces and nephews and grandkids. So, just in a smaller house in a smaller city, town, and it's just hard.
Here in Wellston, it's just a lot that the young guys go through in this city because there's so much temptation that they experience from, selling drugs and, doing what they see other guys do, that's older than them, and, it's like normal. It's like they only believe in that.
As a kid, I didn't know how to handle the world that I was living in. I try to ease my mind and just go in the gym and just, relax.
It was an activity that those guys escaped growing up here, and it was something to get away from this life.
I was just always that kid just dribbling the ball up and down the street to, like take away from all that negativity. I won't, think about so much that's going on in my neighborhood and focus on, like, hopefully, one day I will be able to take care of my family and we won't have to leave for things like we did when we was growing up. When I first started playing basketball, I was a big man. And when I got to high school, my freshman year, I was still playing the big and just, trying to help my teammates out. But I was telling myself, like, I'm really a guard because I'm not that tall, I'm not that big to be a center or a power forward. I can play those positions at the time in high school, but that's not really my positions.
I asked him when I got the job, what position does he play? And he said a forward. And I said, how much you weigh? And he said 180 pounds. And then I replied, what major Division I has a 6'5" forward? And then I asked him what professional team has a 6'5" forward? And he looked and kind of was puzzled, and he said none. And then I said, well, from here on out, you got to be a guard. And if anybody asks you what position you play, you say guard.
I had a bad shot growing up, man. He changed my form, the way I shoot, helped me get a lot of rotation into the ball, and he turned my shot from how it was. My junior was like one of the great years of high school ball. I think that's when I started getting more exposure. I was doing good. I was averaging like 28 points a game, 6 assists, 12 rebounds.
Everywhere we go, it was standing room only. People was just around the walls, and they just came to see this kid play.
I see Missouri in the crowds and see Kansas in the crowd, and you like, wow, they really here at my game. So, okay, now I gotta play ball. Now I gotta really show off.
We really didn't know much about Ben. We thought, this kid's about 6'3", he might grow, and he's pretty explosive. And Coach Townsend goes and checks him out in a game and thought, wow, this guy is really good. And then from there, he became the priority for us to recruit.
We knew at the beginning of the school year that this would be the last and final season for the Wellston High School. And we evaluated a lot of options for as what we're going to do after this point, or the transition for Ben to go to another school for his senior year. We looked at a lot of the local schools, but the MISHA, the governing body of the state of Missouri, said if he attends any other high school outside of Normandy High School, he'll be ineligible for his senior year.
We were actually at the school right before it closed and knew that that was going to come and it was inevitable. And his high school coach was obviously trying to place him at a place and where it'd be the best fit for him athletically and of course academically because he had some work to do and certainly decided on Oak Hill Academy.
It was difficult, just having transferred my grades and transcripts from a school that's, a small school. I just tried to finish off strong and just try to finish my season year. And, Kansas was still, on the table. I just, talked to my mom and took the time and just, picked the school, and I picked the University of Kansas.
I was driving back from, I believe, watching a kid play, and I remember getting a call from my compliance person. She tells me, she said, "Bill, we got a problem." And I'm like, going, "What's the problem?" The clearinghouse is not counting these classes. And our people thought they were good. Of course, they were on the 48H form and everything, and come to find out they weren't. As all coaches know, second semester practices for a guy just getting started that's not eligible to compete, you're a scout team guy, you're a second team guy. Of course, that was a crushing blow to us. And it was a crushing blow to the kids, but neither one of them pouted, and Ben certainly didn't. And of course, he got above a 3.0 that first year he was with us, and I think Ben responded like a man should respond.
Like I always tell people, it was a blessing. I was able to play with my teammates, and don't worry about, all that stuff that happened last year, and move forward. And it helped a lot, they made it all the way to the, championship game, which is great.
I've worked with at least 33 athletes that are in the NBA or have been in the NBA, and Ben separates himself from most of those people because his willingness to work. He takes pride in all aspects of his life.
If you were to ask Thomas and Tyshawn last year who the best prospect in the gym was, it'd be unanimous. They would have said Ben McLemore. Ben comes from the most humble perspective. He's never once talked about what he doesn't have. He talks about what he does have. And what he does have, he's got a support group and a family that loves him. And what he does have is appreciation, affection in his heart to try to make others' life better. He's got a lot. He's a terrific player, but he's the type of guy that you would hope your son would grow up and be just like.
I've not seen a more talented player in the country this year at any age than McLemore. His coaches probably want him to be more aggressive and assertive and to take over, and I think he'll develop that. But what you can't develop in people is that natural demeanor he's got. His teammates love him, and he's a great teammate. Even though he's a star, he's not a star that separates.
I think my story can motivate a lot of people, a lot of kids that's growing up. They know it's possible, to do something great. Because I did it, I'm still doing it, but I did it. I came from nothing. Now, a lot of kids wish they can be in my shoes. So I just want to work hard each and every day and be me.
McLemore out front, swish to three-pointer. Oh, lobs into McLemore for a jam. Elijah to McLemore for a three. Good! Off the glass! Off the glass! It's good! McLemore inside. Oh, slam!
Saw that one coming.
2-on-1. Elijah McLemore to the foot. McLemore soaring through the air. Good from the circle. There's McLemore guarded three. Swing! A run out. Here he comes. Reverse slammer. And all the NBA guys, starting with Thomas Robinson, leap to their feet.